Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. The last 48 hours have been an absolute whirlwind, from contract negotiations to portal rumors to even more rumors of Dan Lanning exposing Nico's team for shopping him around allegedly. But now it's over. It's done with. Tennessee is moving on from Nico Iamaleava, and I love the way that that's worded. I love that it comes off of, hey, you missed practice, you go AWOL, you're not a part of this football team. I love how Josh Heupel responded to that. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about Nico, but it was also, man, a fun weekend in Knoxville. A lot of you saying, Boogie, where are you at? Where are the videos? Well, I was with you guys. I was down in Knoxville hanging out with the crew. Man, what a good time. This was Friday night at Calhoun's by the river. You can see the boys getting together. This is the first time all of us have been together at the same time. Dauber in the house, X Factor, Coach Jay and his son, and then, of course, Foul Ming there. Then we went over to Knoxville the next morning for the orange and white game, had a fun tailgate, had a lot of people stop by and say hello. Then we won't go inside the game, get to meet one Brian Staley. He wanted to come by the tailgate. He wanted to meet some of you guys, but timing didn't work out, so we ended up catching up inside the stadium. Had a great conversation with Brian, talked a lot about where Braylon's at mentally with everything going on. Let's go, man. I think those guys are Vols for life. And then we finished it up, a little sweet peas and barbecue. Good time. Again, just a good time. We've turned the orange and white game into the yearly Talkin VAWLS meet and greet hangout. So it's always good to put names with faces. We talk about community. That's what this channel is all about, for the fans, by the fans. If you like it, if you like what we do, make sure you subscribe, click that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. I'm supposed to be live later tonight. We're going to do EA Sports College Football. We're going to talk all this Nico drama. We're going to be live Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Coach Jay will be back in California. You can get his thoughts on all of this mess. But, man, we were all together. We kind of talked through this from so many different ways. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk about it. Of course, it's already out, comes out yesterday. Nico it's now official. He is gone. He is out the door. And it's like, what were my initial reactions? Because it's funny, right? You see some of the nonsense on Twitter. I see some of the nonsense in the comment section. I've seen people say that Coach Jay owes them an apology. I've seen people say that I would side with Nico in this. Let me tell you something. Nico can hit the road. Nico can kick rocks. I defended Nico. I supported Nico. I felt like I think he could have taken a big step in 2025. Why did I do those things? Why did I defend him? Why was I behind him? Because he had the power T on the side of his helmet. And even, there were layers to this thing, man. It just kind of kept growing and growing and growing. And when we go back to the beginning, and when we talk about, the contract negotiations, I got no problem with that. That's college football in 2025. I have no problem with it. But then as it started to grow, and you hear the rumors of Dan Lanning exposing Nico's team, if that's the truth, if that really happened, if they were shopping Nico around to use that as leverage to try to get this $4 million deal done, then kick rocks. I don't want you being a part of this program. There's more layers to it. When you miss practice, when you go AWOL, and the coaches don't know where you're at, and then it kind of continues to escalate throughout the day, and it's not only that, the coaches are trying to call him, and he's not returning their calls, allegedly. That's when I'm done. That's when I'm out. And that's why I think, Josh Heupel made the right decision here. And he talked to the media yesterday after the orange and white game, and I absolutely love his comments. Let's take a listen to what Josh Heupel had to say about Nico hitting the portal.
Today's landscape of college football is different than what it has been. It's unfortunate, just the situation and where we're at with Nico. I want to thank him for everything that he's done since he's gotten here. That's as a recruit to who he was as a player, and how he competed inside of the building. And so a great appreciation for that side of it. Obviously, we're moving forward as a program without him. I said it to the guys today. There's no one that's bigger than the power T, and that includes me. And they hear me say that a lot inside of that team room. This program's been around for a long time, with a lot of great coaches, a lot of great players that came before that laid the cornerstone pieces, the legacy, the tradition that is Tennessee football. It's going to be around a long time after I'm done and after they're gone. And that's what's special about being here, is that there is a legacy and a tradition that is so rich, and a logo that's recognized not just across the nation but across the world too.
Nobody is bigger than the Power T. If you watch some of the player interviews too, man, it sounds like Miles Kitselman really stepping up as a leader and kind of reiterating that. And he said, I want to get together with these guys in this locker room that want to be here, that are teammates, not a guy that's all about me, but are teammates. And Miles Kitselman really seems to be taking that leadership role. There's a lot of debate and conversation too when it comes to Nico. Should they have paid him? Like, could they have got this deal done? Because this goes all the way back to December. They couldn't get the deal done. So then it just kind of gets swept under the rug. And then here we end up against the spring portal window that's about to open, and you're back against it. And then the information starts to come public. So again, should they have paid him? I said yes. I would have paid him. Why? Because I think there are a lot of implications here that could happen after. Who enters the portal next? Where do they go? And again, I like you. We can argue about Nico's value, Nico's worth, how good he is, how good he's been, how good he will be. I don't know. We'll find out. We're gonna see in 2025. Maybe this coaching staff knows something that we don't know. Maybe this coaching staff knows where Jake Merklinger is at, and we don't know that. So they've seen Jake practice. We've heard all the speculation that Jake had a really good spring camp. So do they know what they've got in Jake? Do they trust Jake enough to say, we're not paying you? Now, on the flip side of that, yeah, I said I would pay him. Once he missed practice, once he skipped out on practice, once this goes public and all this information comes out, I think Tennessee 100% made the right decision, put their foot down and said, there's no coming back from this. There is no coming back. But the bottom line is, again, as I said before, I support anybody that plays for the Power T. I supported Joe Milton, got attacked for that. I supported Hendo Cinco. Well, he was a hero. So when Nico's turn is here, I supported Nico. But guess what? You guys that follow me on Twitter, you guys are the friends with me on Facebook. Before he even hit the portal, I was posting out pictures of Jake Merklinger. The cult of Jake is here. Jake the Snake. I'm ready to ride with Jake Merklinger. And that's kind of a question too. Where does Tennessee go from here? Do they look to go get a starter in the portal? Or do you know that you're confident enough in what you have with Jake? So you're looking for a depth piece. They're going to have to find a quarter. You can't go through the season with Jake and George, a true freshman and a guy that's a redshirt freshman. I don't think you can make it through the season. But if you do go and get a starter, if you do go spend that, look, you got over $2 million now available that you're going to be able to spend in this upcoming portal window that opens in the spring. Who else comes in? Does a quarterback come in that you think, hey, this guy can come in, he can learn the offense in the fall and be ready to go? That's the whole problem. All this experience that Nico had is now flushed down the toilet. But Jake's been in the system. It feels to me like we just rewound a year. We rewound a year, and now we're going through it with a redshirt freshman. Again, is Jake ready? We're going to find out. We don't have a choice, but he's going to have that Power T beside us on his helmet, and I'm rolling with Jake Merklinger. What about the orange and white game itself? I'll be honest, man. I will be honest. It was boring. It was bland. Maybe the most bland spring game I've ever been to. A lot of guys banged up, a lot of guys injured, so a lot of guys weren't even practicing. At one point, Coach Jay looks over and says, we're basically just watching a practice right now. I mean, they did a break midway through the scrimmage and start doing special teams work. Like it felt like a practice. It was, again, the most bland spring game I've probably ever been to. They took the breaks to do special teams work. It's like, is this it? Is it over? A lot of people got up and left, didn't know what was going on. One of the things I did like, the tight ends were heavily involved. We didn't see any creativity with the pistol. You knew it was going to be vanilla. You knew it was going to be bland. That's what the spring games usually are. Didn't show us a whole lot. Jack Van Dorselaer, a guy that looked good. He Coach Jay kept looking over, wanting to put over his film breakdown because he's so high on Jack Van Dorselaer. So seeing him make plays was good. Rad Jackson was making some plays. Be honest, I like me some George McIntyre. I'm not ready to go on the starting a true freshman George McIntyre. Let's roll, bus. He looked good the short little time that he was out there. Jake made some tough throws, struggled with accuracy issues. But look, I'm not going to base where I'm at on Jake off of this spring game, because the last 48 hours that's been a whirlwind for us was also a whirlwind for this football team. So anyway, bottom line is kind of vanilla, kind of bland, kind of boring. It is what a spring game is. Going to be live tonight, EA Sports College Football, talking all things Tennessee football. You want to have some back and forth, you want to talk about this Nico thing, we can do it tonight. We're also going to be live Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. I think Dauber X and Dauber X, Coach Shea should be in the house. We'll see if Falming wants to jump on here and talk about what we saw at the Orange and White game as well. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.